Hi everyone, I'm Adam. I'm here with
Coach Dave Bremer.
okay, Coach. So thank you, Coach, for accepting this interview. So
My pleasure.
before we start this interview, we have a complimentary gift for you for accepting this interview.
You're too kind. Look at this. The hospitality of Filipinos.
Of course, of course.
Thank you very much.
That's one of our traditions before like a guest.
Yes, yes.
We bring gifts, or like if you come to us, there's food available always, or anything actually.
It's one of the reasons I'm in the Philippines, because
Just
the people are so
hospitality of the
gracious.
Filipinos. All right. Before we start on the actual interview, I would like to ask some infos about yourself, like how long have you been here, what do you do, and before you got here, like what's life in your country, like something a little background about you.
Okay, I came to the Philippines in 2018. I came and I retired here. I was going to go to Malaysia and coach men's basketball, but I wanted to spend 2 weeks in the Philippines to meet some people, and I had been here before coaching, and I fell in love with the people, and
So before you end up staying here for good, you're like going here for vacation usually.
Correct. I was going to coach in Malaysia, but I was here for 2 weeks for vacation, and I decided to then live here and retire here.
So what's like your what's the part like you told yourself like, oh, I wanna live here now?
Well, the reason I decided to retire in the Philippines is mainly because of the people. It's very, like you originally mentioned, they're very gracious, they're very genuine, and I really love the way they treat senior citizens.
Yes.
I don't have to wait in line for anything. They treat senior citizens with dignity and respect. America is not like that. Australia is not like that. I was in Australia for 10 years before I came to the Philippines, and they just don't have the same respect for senior citizens that the Filipinos have.
I agree with that, because you know other OFWs, they work abroad
Yes.
and they work as domestic helpers, you know, for
Yep.
the elders. That's why I understand you. I understand. I also had a relatives who work abroad and helping, you know, senior citizens. 2, 3, go. Okay, next question, Coach. Can you share your most memorable culture shock moments in the Philippines?
Well, culture shock from a positive or negative standpoint?
We can do negative first, so we can have the positive.
Well,
last.
the negative would be not everybody can understand English. Philippines is probably one of the best English-speaking countries outside of America and Great Britain and that, but not everybody speaks English,
Yes.
and they acknowledge sometimes that they do. And I might get the impression that they understood me, when in reality they're just being polite and they don't understand me.
So they're just being like,
Respectful and polite.
yes.
And
At least at the end of the day, they're trying to help you also by being polite.
correct. Their intentions are, they mean well, but then sometimes I said, well, wait a minute. They said this, they said yes, and really they didn't know what I asked, which is understandable.
Okay, Coach, we're done with the first part of the interview. Now we're at the second part.
Okay.
This is 3 parts actually, but
Okay.
we can just ask you like some of the second part and just a little bit of the
Sure,
third part.
it's up to you.
We don't have to like take longer in the interview.
It's totally up to you. I'm here for you.
Okay, for the second part, Coach, did you ever have a hard time communicating with Filipinos? Can you give me an example?
Some of the workers, or maybe the individuals that come from the province, and they would be an example of maybe they acted like they understood me by shaking their head and all that, but in reality they didn't. And maybe I asked for some work to be done in the yard, and they just didn't do it. And I didn't do a very good job of explaining, because I should have got a translator. It was my fault for not getting a translator.
It's like the same question from the last question.
Yes,
They just being polite to you.
correct.
Well, like at the same time, you're just being understandable because you know they don't understand you.
But that's correct, sir.
Alright, next question. Has the language difference made things harder for you in daily life?
Well, no, because majority of the Filipinos speak English, so that's made it easier, and that's also one of the reasons many Americans retire here in the Philippines, because they are 80% of the people speak good English, and that's a pretty good amount. That's a pretty good percentage. So it is easier for people from Australia, people from America, people from Great Britain to come to the Philippines and retire, because most of the people speak good English. Not just English, but they speak good English. And my daughter's going to Letran also, and they have a good curriculum of teaching kids how to speak English, like you guys all learn how to speak English.
Yes.
And it'll help you in jobs, getting jobs in other countries, or even jobs at call centers or anything like that. The better your English speaking skills are, the more opportunities in life you will have.
I agree with that, and also I would like to add, even though those Filipinos who don't speak grammatically correct always in English, you can always comprehend it, right?
Correct, absolutely. Yes, correct.
That's why other foreigners choose to
Come
go
to the
here.
Philippines. Yes.
Because even though they don't speak like grammatically correct at all times, you can always comprehend it. You know what they were trying to say to you.
Correct. I agree.
So the next question is, were there any gestures or ways of communicating that surprise or confuse you?
What was the question again?
Were there any gestures or ways of communicating that surprise or confuse you?
No, not really. Nothing that I couldn't already, figure out after being here for a little while. It's the Filipinos do a great job of communicating for the most part. If I went to Vietnam or Thailand, it would be a problem, though, wouldn't it? In China, I was in China for basketball for about a month or two, and it was very challenging, very, very difficult.
Because on other countries, they were not trying to like speak English
Correct.
to communicate with you.
Correct. They can't be bothered.
On other countries, they'll be like, oh, you come to us, you need to
Speak our
learn."
language.
Yes. Unlike here, like when you go here, we're the ones who are gonna adjust for you, so you can be more comfortable.
Yes, that's correct. And that's also part of the respect that the Filipinos have for senior citizens and for other people. They're just a better, they're good Christian people.
Alright, that's nice, Coach. The next question, can you tell me about a time when you had a misunderstanding and how you handled it?
Well, when I first started coaching here, I was hired as a consultant and in two different jobs. And the head coach, I was always taught as a teacher, a coach is a teacher basically, you have a lesson plan or a practice plan. So if you have a 2-hour practice, you have a practice plan, first 15 minutes layups or different drills that you perform, and then if you have certain deficiencies of the team, you want to try to focus on those things. So when I met the other head coaches, I says, okay, let me see your practice plan and I'll help with you. And they would say, oh, it's up here. Well, a good coach does not put his practice plan up here. A good coach, just like a teacher, has the practice plan written out, and I would let my players see my practice plan. Okay, here's what we're going to do today, guys. It's not a secret. It's not a big, let's just work together to become better players and have a better team. And the coaches that told me that the lesson plan was in their head were basically lying to me. They didn't sit down and make out a lesson plan. They would just, wing it, go, off the cuff. I know that
Make something out of nothing.
Yes, basically, and just throw out some drills out there, and they weren't hands-on. I was told I was a very hands-on coach. Like I would get down in the defensive stance, show the guys how to slide, make sure they had their hands up, how to close out properly, how to box out properly. That's being hands-on. You visually show them, not just tell them, show them. And then they can do it easier. And I had a problem with the other head coaches who didn't do that.
That's nice, Coach, because being a coach is not always like you're the head of the team. It's also like you're the teacher of the game. So like
That's exactly
that's
what
the
you-
better way to teach the players, right?
That's the way I was taught, and that's what good coaches do: show them, not just tell them.
That's good, coach. Next question: how would you compare the way Filipinos communicate with the way people communicate back home, like
Well,
in their hometown?
I would say Filipinos are more respectful. You know, they think about what they're going to say, and they don't talk down to people. So they when they talk to people, they're respectful. A lot of people in America, which is one of the reasons I left, they're very impatient with people. And if you have to ask them to explain something, like being an older person, technology, I have to have certain things explained to me, how to use technology to its utmost benefit. And some of the people of the younger generation, the 20 to 30-year-olds, they don't have the patience to sit down with an elderly person and explain to them why you're doing what you're doing, why you have to do this on your phone or on your laptop. And that is one thing that's very irritable to me. And yeah, so the lack of respect in trying to explain something and the lack of patience that Americans have is one thing that was not comfortable for me.
And also that's the one hard part of on other countries. Like if you're old now, they're just gonna put you on a nursing home and like pay other people, like you take care of them.
That's
right?
They just put you off in a corner. They put you off in a nursing home, and they don't remember you. They forget about you because they can't be bothered, as we say in America. You know, it's just a lack of respect.
Unlike here in one household, you can see like 5 generations of the family, right? Because they're more, as we said earlier, that we are more respectable with our elders than the youngings. Because like the stigma here, like if you're young, you need to take care of the elders, right?
Right, that's a priority, and that's one of the reasons also, once I lived here and I knew this because I did my research, that I will be taken care of when I can't take care of myself. I won't be put into a home. I know I will have people, this is where I'm going to live my life out. This room, this house, this is where I'm going to live my dying days. And I know that my wife will take care of me, my daughter will take care of me, my friends, my family, Daryl, they will all contribute to take care of me and make sure that my needs are taken care of. And yeah, and a lot of my friends in America don't have that luxury. They're alone, they're in their house, and they see their kids maybe once a month, if they're lucky to still be in their house. Otherwise, like you said, they're stuck in a nursing home where you just wait for the days to go by for your last day.
And it's also a privilege here to be taken care of while you're this age, right?
Yes, very much so. I'm very, very lucky.
For
very
other
blessed.
people, this is already a privilege.
Correct. That's very correct.
Okay, Coach, we're on the last part of our interview for adjusting and finding your way out here in the Philippines. And starting with the question, what did you do to help yourself adjust to Filipino culture?
I tried to learn to be more patient myself. You know, being American, we're not patient people. And I worked, my family, the men in my family are not patient, they're just hard workers. They come from an old German background. So I had to learn to be more patient with people.
Like the Latin word saying quid pro quo, something for something. Of course, you have to be patient for them to be patient with you, right?
Yes,
and that's
correct.
the good part. And next question, Coach. How did you try to deal with any communication barriers? Like, do you try to use gestures or like, in what way?
I would have my wife translate or find a friend or, you know, some of the players. It was easy to communicate with the players, even the ones that didn't know English, because I was more hands-on. So I showed them what I needed as opposed to using verbal comments. And then also being on Facebook, you know, a lot of players many years ago told me, "Oh, Coach, get on Facebook so we can communicate, and then you can say what you didn't say in practice. Maybe you can tell us in a message or something." And so I learned to listen to my players and listen to younger people, and then try to adjust.
And that's the nice thing about your players, Coach, because they're really trying hard to communicate with you, unlike the other people. Like if you don't say this, then we're not gonna do this, right?
Correct.
You're only doing the things that you're gonna say.
Correct.
Unlike your players, like they're trying hard to reach out to you, so like you can understand each other more.
That's
And
absolutely.
that's the good part of your team.
I'll tell you what's evolved in our society in the last 10 or 20 years. When I first started coaching 35 years ago, you could have 12 players. And the main thing as a coach is you get them to buy into the team concept. The team is the main thing, not the I. It's all about the team. What do we do to make the team successful? So out of 12 players, you would have 10 or 11 that, yes, the team is the most important thing. And you maybe have one guy, maybe two guys that they're I-me players. They just don't get it. So you go to the other players and you say, look, you got to get this guy to get on board. We're going to be successful if everybody buys into the team philosophy. Well, the last 5 years, before I came to the Philippines, in Australia and America, maybe out of 12 players, 7 understood the team concept and 5 had to be convinced. So I would have to go to the 7 players and say, look, you guys got to get these other 5 guys on board. Whereas when I came to the Philippines, it wasn't 7 to 5. It was more like back to the old days. 10 or all 12 kids bought into the team concept. So it was easier for me to coach in the Philippines, to coach the players in the Philippines, but not with the coaches.
Because it's different here with basketball.
Yes, basketball is like a religion.
Yes,
like I
of
say,
course. That's why they really want to communicate with
Yes.
you, because their heart, their life is always revolving around basketball.
I still have relationships and keep in contact with several of the players that I coach, and I only coach 2 teams. So I still have, they're good friends. And as they get older and become, adults, we will maintain our friendship, just as I have with many of my players throughout my years. Some players that I coached 30 years ago, now I'm good friends. They now have kids and et cetera, et cetera. So for me, coaching the Philippines is a lot of fun. It's just that I don't get the coaches don't like, the head coaches don't like me. They're intimidated. Let's put it that way.
Because they know when they feel like there's someone like taking ahead of them.
They're insecure.
Yes,
with their own position. A good friend of mine coached the Bay Area Dragons a few years ago in the PBA. There was a team. So they played. They coached against. They had the championship game, 7th game in the Philippine arena. It's 50,000 people, and it was quite impressive. You don't get 50,000 people at a basketball game anywhere in the world. Usually 20 is like Madison Square Garden in New York. 20,000 is the max. 50,000 is just amazing. And to be able to go there, because my friend was the head coach of the Bay Area Dragons. He was the Olympic coach at Australia, and his father was one of my mentors back in America. And even he said this is like the most amazing game he has ever coached in his life, because he's never coached in front of 50,000 people. And very few coaches have coached in front of 50,000 people, because you just don't have that many people at a basketball game. And for me to be at the game, it was one of the highlights of my life, to be honest with you, because I knew the guys who were on the Bay Area Dragons team, and to be so many people it was amazing.
It's like an honor watching that kind of game, because as you can see 50,000 people. Yeah, that's like a normal party in the Philippines, because even though in here, like in the little barangays with the little tournaments, you can see it's not even finals yet. As you can see, there's so many people already watching.
One of the things that I find amazing as you drive through the province, or like we go to Batangas, every little area, every barangay has a basketball court. It's covered, and then even in the middle of the rice paddies, you'll see a nice full court with glass backboards. I mean, I'm going, wow, this is just so awesome. You don't see that anywhere else in the world.
As like you said, basketball is like a religion now here. So like, it's different here, unlike on the other countries.
When I came here the first time with a group from Australia, it was a semi-pro team from Australia, and we went to Taal volcano. And this was before it erupted. This was probably about 15 years ago. So we went there and we had to take a boat to get to the island, and then from the island we had to take mules to go up to the volcano to be able to see the volcano. Well, also on the island of Taal, they had a full court basketball. And so my guys, some 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds with their $200 Nikes, they wanted to play against the locals. So the locals, some of them are playing in bare feet, and the ones that had shoes, well, they didn't have shoes, they had flip-flops. They had, I don't know what you guys call them, I forget.
Yeah.
Sandals, right? Flip-flops. Sandals. So they're playing in sandals. My guys are playing in $200 Nikes, and the Filipino kids held their own, and it was so impressive. I just said, wow, this is what, coaching is all about. This is what basketball is all about.
And that's good, Coach. I'm really happy that you're enjoying your life here, because it's an honor for us to accommodate you and for you to live here for the rest of your life. It's like a big thing for us, because we know that you fell in love with our country. And next is did you make friends or did you make friends or connections here to make things easier for you? In what way?
Well, being a basketball coach, because the game is so well revered and popular, it's easy for me to make friends and talk to people. I mean, I wear the ring, the championship ring from Australia for semi-pro, so it's a conversation piece right out of the gate. And because I'm very familiar with basketball, it's a common denominator on a subject you can talk about. Like, for instance, we don't talk about politics because that can be controversial. And as a foreigner, I should keep my opinions about politics to myself, which is what my wife has told me to do.
Because other Filipinos are pretty sensitive with that kind of
Yes,
topic.
they're very, very sensitive. And plus, I don't live, I live here now, but I didn't grow up here. So I only know what I read, and I do a lot of research, but still, it doesn't matter how much research you do. If a person feels very strongly about something, what you have to do to not get into an argument or disagreement is change the subject.
It's
a life skill for you guys. It's when you get into an argument, say with your girlfriend's dad, change the subject.
That's the good part. If you know things are gonna turn at some point, just change the
subject. I just learned to say, well, we agree to disagree. And hey, how about the weather? Or hey, I got some great grapes today, or something like that.
That's a good thing. At least you didn't start an argument right there. You just changed the topic to continue the conversation.
Correct. Well, I want to be respectful. I want to be respectful of the culture, of the people, and if you're going to be, I don't want to be the arrogant American. Although I have been accused of being that at times, but maybe that's also being the coach. Because as a coach who's won championships in different countries, I feel pretty confident about what I've done. So it's hard to convince me otherwise. Like, it's hard to convince me that your lesson plan, your practice plan is up here. Yeah, that's a joke, kind of.
Okay, here we're down to our final two questions,
Okay.
Coach. And this one: what tips would you give to foreigners who are planning to live in the Philippines?
Be patient, be respectful, and appreciate all the good things the Philippines has to offer. The weather, the great fruit and vegetables. You can eat so healthy here. But, be patient with people. Leave the arrogant attitude from the West, from America, from Europe, from Australia, wherever. Leave that there. And then just come here and appreciate the good things that exist here in the Philippines.
That's good. And looking back, what do you wish you knew before moving here that would have made adjusting easier?
I wish I would have known that I could retire here earlier, and it's affordable. I wish maybe I would have came here a few years earlier.
And that's a good thing, because if you have invested earlier in here, right now you already have a good life.
I have a great life.
Even though, but
Let's
if
now
you
consider
invested
dihybrid
earlier,
cross
what it's like
versus
now,
L,
right?
Absolutely.
and then
And
seat
I try
color.
to tell some of my friends who are lonely and don't have great lives because they're older, hey, come to the Philippines, take a chance. But many people when they get older, like me, they're so afraid to branch out and to take a chance. And the ones that do take a chance and come to the Philippines, they always find that they've made a good decision, just like I have.
That's good, Coach. And that's the last question. We would like to thank you for accepting our interview.
Totally my pleasure.
We really appreciated you, Coach. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the Filipinos for being the Filipinos and being respectful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
Good day. And thank you for the present.
Yes, that's very
Sure. Thank you.